What is up with Blood of the Dead? When you play Blood of the Dead, it seems as though the warden is in control. This is his prison. As you get there, he says, "Rise and greet our new guest," and he commands the horde of zombies towards you. But the warden really isn't the one who's calling the shots at Alcatraz. He's not the one who is responsible for all of this. And this is what I want to discuss in this video today, because I think there is a greater secret to Blood of the Dead as well as Mob of the Dead in regards to who's actually in control. If you've listened to some of the radios from the warden, you'll understand that somebody far more powerful, somebody far more evil is actually calling the shots here. And this is what I want to explore with a theory of mine that is a little bit old, but I think is really relevant right now, especially in this discussion of Blood of the Dead. What we know right now is that somebody is after Ricthofen. This becomes very obvious in one of Dr. Maxis's radios that you can find in the map.
Ricthofen, come in, Ricthofen. Edvard, are you receiving me? Wherever you have gone, it appears to be our connection through the ether. How this is possible, I do not know. But deduce two things for certain. First, the interference cannot be a naturally occurring phenomenon. The energy required is to be too great and complex. And second, if not natural, then someone very powerful moves against you, companions. I pray it's already too late. Everything depends on summoning key. Without it, and without the souls you promised, vision will never come to pass. And will prevail. As for the blood, I have come to believe that your hypothesis a revelation. I will continue the work, but Ricthofen, what you can to boost the signal. If you have the means, antenna array would like this. Stay alive, Ricthofen. Keep them safe. With any luck, you will see again soon.
This radio is from the perspective of a pre-Revelations Maxis, one who is in the house waiting on the return of Ricthofen. He's waiting on Ricthofen to return with the summoning key as well as the souls. Now, Maxis also realizes that something in this universe isn't right. Our characters became aware of that when they entered Blood of the Dead and they realized that the chronorium had been changed, and now Maxis is left to figure out what's going on. Who is after Ricthofen and potentially causing all of this chaos? He understands that it's a great, powerful entity because this entity is able to interfere with their communications. This is all of that static and background noise going on with this radio that makes it more difficult to hear than it would be otherwise. Who's this powerful figure, though, that's going after Ricthofen? Our biggest hint may actually come from one of the radios from the warden, as the warden speaks to somebody he refers to as his lord. One thing I should mention in this radio is that this is a conversation, but you only hear the perspective of the warden. You don't hear the mysterious figure with whom he's speaking to. There are actually a lot of long gaps in this conversation, and what I've done is cut out those long gaps so that this radio isn't really long and you're just not awkwardly sitting in silence as you wait for a part of a conversation that you can't hear. So this is a one-sided conversation in which the other end of the conversation has been cut short. But take a listen.
My lord, I entreat thee to speak. I have done as you asked. The remaining 3 of the first 4 shall die by electric chair this evening, and soon after I shall join them. It will be glorious in this new realm, Lord, I have no doubt, but I confess, I am afraid. This form is weak and has taken to drink, but I do cling to it still. Please, grant me the strength to... Yes, my lord, of course. My life is part of the disease, and the disease must be purged. I rejoice that that day has come. Oh, thank you for saying so, my lord. Truth be told, I long for the miracle that will release me. Such an honor for me. The Doctor. I've heard mention of him amongst the Illuminati. What would you have of him? I swear, my lord, it will be done. Name it, my lord. Yes, Ricthofen shall suffer.
Let's establish the fact that it's not the Warden who is running the show at Mob of the Dead, but it is instead his lord who is running the show. The Warden is essentially his puppet. He used him to set up this Alcatraz pocket dimension. He had him perform a number of rituals. My guess right now is that all the executions that happen on the island were all in an effort to set up this dimension. Perhaps use those souls to set up this hell and maybe torment them in it. We're not entirely sure of the full extent and the nature of how this pocket dimension was set up, but the Dark Lord used the Warden, and the Warden worships him like a god. So when you consider this in the context of Mob of the Dead, this is what's going on in a sense why Bill, Sally, Finn, and the rest of them were trapped within Mob of the Dead. And now they've set their sights on a new target, Ricthofen, a member of the Illuminati much like the Warden. And why do they want Ricthofen? They want him to suffer, they said. Is it because of his blood? Maxis has mentioned in a few radios that Richthofen's blood carries a large amount of ether. So much ether that using it could make you incredibly powerful. That may be an incredible draw to whoever is running the Alcatraz dimension, but I do have another idea. What if they want Ricthofen to suffer because of revelations? And by that I mean, what if this lord that the Warden is speaking to is actually Monty? This is a theory that I've had for months and I've been saying for a while now. We know for a fact that Monty is an antagonist. We have this cipher on Revelations that, when solved, reads, "I am the last of us, but I will be joining you soon, my friends. Death is near." I hope what we have done doesn't come back to bite this universe in the ass. Thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would be in a world of shit. Maybe now, with all of us gone, the children will truly be safe. Monty is a threat, and this is something that Dempsey has recognized. He's a threat to this universe, he's a threat to the safety of the children, and they need to find a way to stop him. But beyond that, what if now within Mob of the Dead, Monty, or Blood of the Dead, Monty is the one actively working against our characters and trying to make Ricthofen suffer? We even have a quote from the Shadow Man in which he directly refers to Dr. Monty as the devil himself.
You do realize that he's manipulated you. That's what he does. Dr. Monty is just one of the many names he's been known by. The Great Dragon, the Beast. Is this ringing any bells? Beelzebub, Lucifer, Satan, the Devil.
Once you consider that Monty could be the one in charge of the Alcatraz pocket dimension, the parallels really start to line up as you dig around. First, you'll notice that Monty's lion has red eyes. In addition to that, the lion that sits atop the Blundercat in Mob of the Dead also has red eyes. The first map that we ever saw red eyes is Mob of the Dead, and the first map in which Dr. Monty was ever introduced to us was Garad Crovey. It's also one of the few maps in Black Ops 4 to feature red eyes. In fact, red eyes are only present in maps that we know Monty is actively present in. So, to me, it seems like the greatest link we have right now to red eyes would be Dr. Monty, and red eyes are a staple of both Mob of the Dead and Blood of the Dead. I, for one, believe that it is actually Dr. Monty who is in control of this Alcatraz pocket dimension, and he is the one that wants Ricthofen to suffer within this dimension. Once you think about it from the perspective of Dr. Monty, why or how would he want Ricthofen to get trapped in this world? Well, at the end of Revelations, he screws up his perfect world by having them drink the blood. He doesn't know what to do with them. He doesn't know where to send them. He thinks he could just send them to a random universe, but then he gets an idea. he then has them repeat the cycle, so go back in time to the beginning when they are the Primus warriors that we saw at the end of the Great War, and he's going to have time continue as normal, except this time he's going to change things when they get to Mob of the Dead, a gateway to his world, and he's going to set up a trap. He knows he needs to stop them, and he knows they're coming, so what does he do? He talks to the Warden to prepare their dimension for when Ricthofen arrives, that they can then trap them in this purgatory forever, and then maybe within that purgatory, Ricthofen is stuck and he can no longer interfere in their perfect world, or with Ricthofen stuck in this purgatory, perhaps they could extract his blood and use it to make Monty even more powerful than he already is. Something like that. This is a theory right now that is controversial. In addition to that, it's not that hard to poke flaws or come up with counter theories. I really do think that Monty is actually the one in control of Mob of the Dead, and once you come to that conclusion, I think it does open up a lot more possibilities within this world. To me, that seems like the great secret that is hiding behind Blood of the Dead right now, that Monty is the one who's in control, and maybe it will be at the end of this map that we discover Monty is the true antagonist, and this sets the tone for the final leg of our Primus journey. It could be something like that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video or found it interesting, give it a like, possibly subscribe for more. I'm always covering the zombie storyline, so if you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll enjoy the next one. Have a great day, and bye.